Dear students, welcome. Our today's topic is cell membrane or biomembrane or plasma membrane or plasma lemma. Today we will have a detailed discussion about the structure, function and the importance of the plasma membrane or cell membrane in the life of an organism. Dear students, as we know that cells are separated from the external world by a thin fragile structure called the plasma membrane that is only 5 to 10 nanometer wide. As we know that plant cells are separated, or the outermost layer of plant cell is cell wall, whereas in animal cell the outermost layer is the plasma membrane. And we know that the plasma membrane or cell membrane perform a lot of functions in the life of an organism or in the life of a cell, such as compartmentalization, that is, all cellular components are separated from each other, that is, they are encapsulated with a membrane. That's why we can say this is compartmentalization. A cell membrane also provide selectively permeable nature, that what molecule is to enter in the cell and what molecule is not to enter in the cell is decided by the plasma membrane. And intercellular interactions are also performed by plasma membrane. Beside this, the cell membrane or plasma membrane has transporting mechanism for solutes, that is how the solutes will enter in the cell and how the solutes and another metabolites or biomolecules will be exported out of the cell. Beside this, the cell has an responding external signal mechanism. The cell responds towards the signals received from the environment and thus act accordingly. Dear students, as we can see, this is a photograph. This is an electron micrograph of a cell, and this shows the lining of the cell, that is plasma membrane, and that this much, that this square, this red square shows the total width of a cell membrane, and here through this arrow this shows the 3D and 2D, that is two-dimensional and three-dimensional arrangement of the cell membrane, that how this small compartment or these two lining of the cell membrane are composed of. And here we can say that the cells or plasma membrane are made up of these phospholipid molecules. These phospholipid molecules are having a head that is known as a hydrophilic head, and these two tails are hydrophobic tails. And beside these phospholipid molecules, the protein molecules are also present, as represented by these green entities, and these proteins are integral proteins, are the important component of a membrane, and these proteins have various important role in the functions of a cell that will come later on. And here this represents that the phospholipid molecules are arranged in bilayer, that is this half layer projecting towards upper side and this lower half towards the lower side, and this phospholipid bilayer is the basic structure or structural organization of a plasma membrane or biomembrane. Here we can see that these head-like structures are projecting towards the aquatic surface or towards the polar surface, and these heads are polar in nature. These are attracting towards the water, that's why known as hydrophilic head. And these two tails are the fatty acid tails, and these are without any charge, thus known as hydrophobic tail. And this is one phospholipid molecule, and when a number of phospholipid molecules are immersed in or dispersed in water, these molecules arrange in such a way that their hydrophobic tail comes together, whereas the hydrophilic head attract towards the water. Dear students, as we know that the phospholipid molecules are arranged in phospholipid or biomembrane or plasma membrane, and how these phospholipid molecules are made up of, this is represented through this diagram. As we can see, this head is made up of, or the all total phospholipid molecule is made up of one glycerol molecule, and when two fatty acid molecules are attached with it and two water molecules are released, and this first carbon or the third carbon of this glycerol has one phosphate that is negatively charged. Beside this, it has an R group that will come later on, choline, phosphatidyl, ethenolamine and serine, whatever the side chain R molecule is present. And this R with phosphate shows negativity or polar in nature, and these two fatty acid chains are attached with glycerol molecule, and this fatty acid tail is without any double bond, so this is a saturated fatty acid, whereas this another tail or another fatty acid molecule is with a double bond, and this double bond is in cis condition because here both the hydrogens are projecting towards same direction, and due to presence of this double bond, this double bond creates a kink or a curvature in the structure of the phospholipid molecule, and with this the polar head, that is with phosphate and R group with two fatty acid tail, ultimately gives this structure. This is a phospholipid molecule. Here it has two tails of fatty acid chain, and as we can see, this one tail is slightly bent. It is due to the presence of this double bond. Presence of double bond in the phospholipid molecule has its significance that will be discussed later on. And here we can see this is a phosphate, and here an R group is also attached, and this total makes it a hydrophilic, that is attracting towards the water. So a phospholipid molecule has a hydrophilic head, and these two are fatty acid chains without any charge, and that's why known as hydrophobic tails. As we have seen here that phospholipids are major constituents of the plasma membrane, and phospholipids are composed of fatty acid chains attached to a glycerol or sphingosine backbone. Instead of three, there are two fatty acid chains attached to a glycerol forming diacylglycerol, and the third carbon of the glycerol backbone is occupied by a modified phosphate group, as we have seen in previous diagram. And here the lipid bilayer is the universal basis for cell membrane. So we can say that a lipid bilayer is the basic structural organization of a biomembrane or plasma membrane or cell membrane, and this is universal, this is common for all type of organisms, right, taking from the unicellular or multicellular, including prokaryotes, bacteria, or human beings or plants, whatever organisms we will discuss. This slide shows that the plasma membrane of the mammalian cells has four major types of phospholipid. So the basic structural organization of all phospholipid molecule is same, but there is slight difference at the R group, that is the side chain or R group of the phospholipid molecule. Here this is the phosphatidyl ethanol amine, and at the biological pH or at pH 7, that 1 plus and 1 minus equals to 0. So that ultimately this phosphatidyl ethanol amine has no net charge at biological pH, whereas this second is phosphatidyl serine, and here we can see that it has 1 positive and 2 negative charge. So 1 positive cancel 1 negative, and ultimately this phosphatidyl serine has 1 negative charge at pH 7 or at neutral pH or at biological pH. So the phosphatidyl serine has a negative charge at biological pH. This third phospholipid molecule is phosphatidyl choline, and here this is the side chain R, and it has 1 positive and 1 negative charge. So ultimately it is neutral at pH 7. Similarly sphingomyelin, and here this 1 positive and 1 negative, and thus this sphingomyelin is also neutral at biological pH. So the question is, what is a fatty acid? So we can call it that a fatty acid is a long hydrocarbon chain molecule, and it has a carboxyl group at one end. Fatty acids may be saturated or unsaturated. It means both single bond and double bonds may be present, and these double bonds may be 1, 2, 3 or more than 3, and when double bonds are present the fatty acid is unsaturated, and when single bond is present the fatty acid is called saturated fatty acid. Most unsaturated fatty acids are liquid at room temperature and are called oils. If there is one double bond in the molecule, then it is known as mono unsaturated fat, and if there is more than one double bond, then it is known as polyunsaturated fat. Presence of double bond in the fatty acid molecule, and if these fatty acid molecules are the structural component of a phospholipid molecule, then presence of double bond has a significance in the overall functioning of a biomembrane. As we know that a double bond creates a kink, that is a bending in the phospholipid molecule, and this creates a gap. So any biological membrane that has double bond in its fatty acids will or cannot be crystallized at very low temperature, and that's why we can say that the presence of unsaturated fatty acids in the biomembrane of the plants and animals, those live at the high altitude where the temperature is quite low. There is the only reason of their survival that their membrane cannot be solidified due to presence of unsaturated fatty acid in their membrane. Fatty acids are stored in the cytoplasm of many cells in the form of droplets of triacyl glycerol. That is when one glycerol molecule interacts with three fatty acid chain, and then it is called a triacyl glycerol. This fatty acid in this form remains stored in the cell and is utilized in the energy production. As we have already discussed, that lipids are made up of fatty acids, that is fatty acids plus glycerol, and when phosphate is also added, then it forms a phospholipid, and a phospholipid has one hydrophilic head and two hydrophobic tails. Fatty acid tails in a phospholipid molecule can differ in length, and normally a fatty acid chain of 14 to 24 carbon atoms are observed or are present in phospholipid molecule. One tail usually has one or more cis double bond, that is a double bond in cis condition. As we can say here that out of two fatty acid chain in a phospholipid molecule, one chain is saturated whereas the other chain is unsaturated, and this double bond is in cis configuration, that when both the side chain hydrogens are projecting towards same direction. So as we can see that a phospholipid molecule has one hydrophilic head and two hydrophobic tails. That is, a phospholipid molecule is that type of molecule which is hydrophilic at one end and hydrophobic at another end, and that type of molecules are known as amphipathic molecules. That is, those molecules those shows both type of properties, that is attracting towards the water or polar solvent and repelling from the polar or water solvent. A lipid bilayer has one most important property, that its fluidity. That means that the biological membrane is fluidity and in nature, which is crucial to many membrane functions. Fluidity means that if this is a bilayer phospholipid membrane and this is a phospholipid molecule, this is another phospholipid molecule, so we can see that this phospholipid molecule can twist at its position, and this is known as flexion. Beside this, these phospholipid molecule can interchange their space with each other in same plane, and when these phospholipid molecules move from one plane to another plane, that is known as flip-flop, and this is the property of these phospholipid molecules, that is lateral diffusion, flip-flop and rotation, flexion. This indicates that a biological membrane is somewhat liquid in nature, that is it shows a fluidity, and that's why the famous fluid mosaic model was given to explain the structure of biological membrane, that phospholipid molecules are fluid in nature or shows the fluidity, whereas the protein molecules present in between the phospholipid molecules shows the mosaic pattern of the biomembrane. Now the membrane proteins, and as we know that a biological membrane has phospholipid, and beside phospholipid other molecules are also present in plasma membrane or biomembrane, and protein is the second important component of a biomembrane. Although the basic structure of biological membrane is provided by the lipid bilayer, it means lipid molecules are the basic structural unit of a biomembrane, whereas the functional unit of a membrane is the protein that is present on it. So the protein perform important function, and all the activities, all the roles, functions played by a membrane is performed through the protein. And there are three important categories of the membrane protein. So here these three proteins can be classified into three groups. First is integral membrane protein. These membrane proteins penetrate the lipid bilayer, and integral proteins are transmembrane proteins. It means that these membranes pass from one end or one phase to another phase of the membrane. These are called transmembrane protein. Another category is peripheral proteins, that these proteins are present only towards the one phase of the membrane. As we know that a plasma membrane has two phases. One is located towards the cytosol and another is away from the cytosol, that is called extracellular phase. So the proteins, those are associated or are present only towards one surface, are known as peripheral proteins. And the third category is lipid anchored proteins, that is these proteins are situated on lipid molecules of phospholipid bilayer with certain non-covalent interactions, and these proteins, all these type of proteins has their important role, important function. Here the diagram shows the arrangement of the membrane protein and how the proteins are arranged in a plasma membrane. And as we can see, this is the lipid bilayer, and it shows that this lipid bilayer, the lower portion is facing towards the cytosol and the upper portion is away from the cytosol, that is extracellular portion. And as we can see that these proteins, membrane proteins, are denoted with numbering 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8. So here we can see that these two proteins 1 and 2, here these proteins starts from one end and then pass through the mid portion of the plasma membrane and then project towards the other side. Similarly, this protein second is also represented here, but what is the difference? That this protein has a single pass. This is crossing this plasma membrane at only one time, so this is called a single pass transmembrane protein, whereas the protein number second is more than one passing phases in the plasma membrane, and hence it is called multi-pass transmembrane protein. This is another type of protein, and as we can see that this protein has an opening in between. It means these proteins are certain channels or certain passage. It means these type of proteins are allowing to pass certain molecules through its interior to the inner side of the cell, and those molecules can only pass or move from one portion of the cell towards the another portion only through the help of these channel proteins, and these proteins are made up of certain special type of amino acids. Those are hydrophobic in nature, and this protein has two phases. Both the phases are projecting toward the one phase toward the cytosol, and the other phase, that is the extracellular portion. Here we can see that this is also a type of protein 4, this is 5, and here this is 6. As we can see, these three type of proteins are arranged only towards one unit membrane of this phospholipid bilayer, either towards the cytosolic unit membrane or towards the extracellular unit membrane. So these three these membrane proteins are called the peripheral membrane proteins. And here the protein number 7 and 8, we can see that these proteins are the transmembrane proteins, and here the other type of proteins are arranged with these transmembrane protein through certain non-covalent interaction, both towards the inner surface of the cell and as well as towards the outer surface of the cell, that is towards the extracellular surface. So this was all about the cell membrane. Thanks for watching.